who are with Friends Learn. Guys, take it away.
Okay. Friends Learn is focused on building a health and wellness learning platform to tackle global health crises through mobile and social games. Well, anybody that gets science today agrees about our evolutionary future as a human race. But increasingly these days, anybody that gets science is beginning to agree about our evolutionary future. Well, 1 in 2 Americans is going to be obese within the next 20 years. But if you thought this was purely just an American problem, well, think again. We believe that obesity is by far the worst epidemic and crisis facing humanity today because of its enormous scale, explosive growth, and an ever-increasing list of diseases linked to lifestyle. The World Health Organization says 2 billion people around the world are obese or dangerously overweight. And according to scientists, they all agree that it's linked to two primary drivers. One is an increasing trend in sedentary lifestyle, and two is a proliferation of salty, sugary, fatty processed foods that are sweeping the world and displacing traditional cuisines and impacting uninformed populations. So we think a lot about this crisis. We're moved by the human cost, the healthcare cost, and ultimately we see an enormous problem, but in it, an incredible opportunity to build one of the greatest companies of our times. So we're the team behind Fooya, the largest food fight game in the world. Fooya brings together our innovations and expertise at the intersection of health, learning, and gaming. And it is built upon our proprietary know-how and insights into learnification. While many of you may have heard of gamification, learnification really allows us to build a platform to tap into the intrinsic learning value in any entertainment. And Fooya is our first kind of product based on it. So we launched Fooya in a public alpha at the beginning of this year on Facebook, had tremendous traction, reached almost over 1 million users, even though we've had no marketing and the fact that we've gone in and out of sandbox mode. And now we have tremendous feedback, specific user feedback, based on which we know exactly how to scale. So the storyline of Fooya is based on the stage of the global obesity epidemic, built on learnification. So Dr. Stu here represents the evil character that we're fighting against as superhero. We finalized the character design and all of that based on click stream analysis, and we constantly monitor how our gamers are interacting. As they progress through various levels of the game, they're beginning to, because of the power of learnification, understand and become more aware about the health impact of dietary choices. So this is an action shot of the game itself. So, it is equivalent to a third-person shooter-style game. Nobody is shooting bullets and throwing grenades, but instead they're throwing hamburgers and fries. And they avoid being hit with these unhealthy food robots that belong to doctors too. But learnification happens because we've mapped the gamer's health to the base metabolic rate of the average person. We've mapped some of the foods in the game to the nutritional facts, so all of it ties into a realistic and a scientifically developed health model. So ultimately, the gamer will gain weight, become slow, and ultimately burst to their demise. Or they will be able to play with their friends and invite them to play and learn. So at the beginning of this year, we also ran a campaign on Kickstarter successfully to go from our single-player version to a multiplayer version. And that sets us on a path to be able to go look into the future where we think the biggest opportunity to impact the world's biggest crisis at scale is to go on 4G-enabled mobile devices, which is, stay tuned, coming soon. So this is also given us a tremendous amount of feedback. We did lots of grassroots level community development. We partner with the Indian Premier League to be able to do several events. So let me get to the business model. Fooya is designed to work on an advertising supported model. We are designed, specifically Fooya is designed for branded power-ups. We are able to display health and wellness brands. We've talked to several media buying agencies, have strong relationships with WPP, which is the media buying agency, And I've also talked to several brands that have expressed interest in being on our platform. We think that as we scale usage, we're not going to generate money from gamers, but instead through branded power-ups.
Unfortunately, your 5 minutes is up. You're going to have to answer questions in the context. Jeff, do you want to start?
Yeah, I was about to ask about the targeted demo, so you can actually show that slide and tell us about it. The target demo that you have, so
yes.
Is that for kids? Is that for...
Yeah, so our existing alpha is on Facebook. So we have primarily 80% of our users are male, turns out. And our target demographic now is 18 to 24. That's our sweet spot. We're expanding it by going on mobile. We're going to expand it target marketing and distribution agreements in place with several institutions, healthcare institutions, education institutions, to be able to expand it. But we're driven by the mission to solve the problem, tackling it with children as a way to be able to.
Linking that online activity with, devices like the Fitbit or things like that?
I think it's going to take away all our best ideas. Yeah, absolutely. We want to go from being an awareness engine to actually being able to influence behavioral change, take the experience out of the game, put it into the real world.
Al, what do you think?
My question. I was trying to figure out, is this a sedentary game or is this an active game? If it's sedentary, I don't buy it.
Okay, no, it's a platform. So, right, we evolve the game. We release an update on a daily basis. We can't do that on mobile, which is why we were on Facebook. That's the plan going forward. Can I take a minute to introduce my chief of strategy?
Sure, you've got 3 minutes.
So, absolute legend, he's going to talk about our direction in terms of where we were going, in terms of partnerships. He's a 3-time NBA champion, the Iron Man of the NBA, and incredibly successful in the business world, as well as known globally for his humanitarian work with the NBA as the ambassador of the NBA. Please welcome AC Green. I'll continue to take questions, I guess.
Yeah, right. Matt, go ahead.
So, go ahead.
So in prior efforts, not you guys, in prior efforts of sort of gaming and education, you ended up offering these products that were, quite frankly, not very good gaming and not very good education. So what's your core DNA? Do you consider yourself more a gaming company first?
Well, that's a damn good question. Strategically, I guess from the perspective of the gamer and the gamer's experience, we know that entertainment comes first. But ultimately, when we are out there in front of various constituents, policymakers, educators, healthcare communities, celebrities, they all want to know about our mission, right? And that is at the core of who we are. That represents our brand. But to the gamer, nobody wants to come and play an anti-obesity game, right? So we know that our mission to the gamer is to be all-out food fight, come and play the best food fight you can. And our DNA is coming from that perspective. But also, I have to, full disclosure, my second company was in the space of educational gaming. We made games to help universities recruit students. There were Xbox-style games on university campuses. Sold that business, but ultimately, that's, I come from that background. But my entire team, 15 people, they're all gamers.
People, what's been the continued usage, or what's the path once people start?
We're very bad from that perspective because we turn on the switch and turn off the switch. And people are not too happy about that but ultimately this was an experiment. So now we know the real opportunity is being on mobile. This Facebook was just a sandbox experiment for us. So now we know exactly what to build. It's super engaging, super exciting. We know which partners to bring on board, and we have a tremendous amount of momentum. All kinds of people, as I was saying, educators, celebrities, policymakers, healthcare people. You talk to healthcare people that say that they will prescribe this because their solution for childhood obesity is so.
Maynard, you get the last minute.
Talk about funding, and also I couldn't agree more about the need to carry this with the game because you actually want to see outcome.
Yes, that's
our health, right?
That's our mission. So we're definitely going there. We started out as far as awareness. As far as funding, we're completely self-funded. We had revenue. Our first game was actually because of my second company, we were chosen by the U.S. State Department to build the official game from America to attract international students. It's promoted through U.S. consulates around the world and goes out to almost some 80 million but we had some revenue from there and money from Kickstarter, so we were I put in money into it, so we're haven't raised any outside finance. That's definitely part of the plan from strategic investment.
Great. I don't think you can do much in 6 seconds, so thank you very much. All right, next up, Christian Bailey, founder and CEO of Constellation Care.